What's up, Nitrogang? This is a 1/8 scale HSP short course truck, currently on a massive sale on Banggood, $239. We will be doing the first start and break-in in this video. That is the best price you will ever find for a 1/8 scale big block, ready to run Nitro Short Course truck. That was literally a mouthful. Now, these Nitro Short Course trucks are very, very popular, but for some reason, only TRAXXAS and like these off-brands like TRAXXAS and HSP seem to be making them. I personally think the 8th scale Nitro Short Course truck should be a more popular chassis, but unfortunately, the electrics are dominating the whole short course experience. Now, of course, the TRAXXAS Slayer Pro is terrific, but that sells for a little bit under $500. This is less than half the price of a brand new TRAXXAS Slayer Pro. I don't see how you can go wrong. Now, I covered a very in-depth chassis and unboxing my previous video. Check that out on my channel if you are considering buying this truck, and I honestly don't see how you cannot if you're in the Nitrogang. You should know as much as possible about this RC and my first overall impressions when I first unboxed it. Pretty good looking body in my opinion, typical short course. It is a relatively thick shell. This is a PVC shell, not a Lexan shell. The chassis itself, very nice, even layout. Obviously, this goes without saying, this is a relatively common 1/8 scale buggy chassis. You have a center diff, you have fuel tank mounted here, you have a big tuned aluminum pipe, and the star of the show is this 0.21 big block SH motor. Now, I looked it up on A-Main Hobbies. This motor alone sells for about $130. So if you look at it this way, they're charging you a little bit more than half the price of this whole car just for the motor at another retailer. Now, that to me, that seems like a ripoff, guys. $239, I don't know how you can go wrong. Look at this nice pan aluminum chassis. When I shop for nitros, I do it the smart way, also known as the Nitrogang way. I make sure that a lot of the parts are basically standard. What I mean is the wheels. Are these easy to replace? Are these cheap? Well, these are 17mm hubs. That means you could run any 8th scale buggy wheel on here and you will have zero problems. Those are some of the most common wheels in the entire RC hobby. A lot of people like these Armas. I like Arma. I had an Arma and then I sold it. Why did I sell it? Because I didn't feel like buying 14mm wheel hubs for their 10th scale short courses, because it was just kind of like a waste of money. The wheels alone are going to be a fortune because they're 14mm on most Armas, unless of course you're talking about some of the larger 8th scale models. Here, everything is cheap, guys. It's good. Don't worry about it. This is a good first RC. This is a good 20th RC. I don't even know which one this is for me, but it's definitely more than the 20th RC. I have a lot of experience with nitros, and guys, I have never ruined a nitro motor. I think maybe my first one I ever ruined it. Yeah, but that was just a learning experience. If you run these things normally, you tune them properly, you don't run too lean, there's almost no way to kill a nitro motor. You know, I get so many weird comments about how bad these low-end engines are, and I don't want you to even say this SH. Let's just talk about the TRAXXAS. But the fact of the matter is, I have a lot of TRAXXAS 3.3 motors, and I have yet to ruin a single one. So is it just me, or is everyone out there generally not running them properly? Well, you weigh in on that and put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I know the RC experts out there will probably side with me. It comes down to a matter of how you run it, how you maintain it. That is the key. And I think I'm gonna have a long fun time with this RC. The last Exceed I had, which is a 10th scale Nitro Short Course truck, I purchased that thing in 2012, guys, and it is still on the road. I have not had a single problem. The reason is, I generally don't jump these. If you want to jump, get yourself an electric. They're light, they could take the abuse. You want to replace diffs every once in a while, go ahead, go do it. I'm not trying to replace diffs. To me, once an RC has a bad diff, it's pretty much all over for that. Doug DeMuro may be covering the quirks and features of his cars, but I have the help of the Nitro dog right here. Say hi to everyone. His name is Teddy. This is a 15-year-old Shih Tzu Poodle. He is a damn sheepoo, guys, and he loves Nitro RC break-ins. I have the original owner's manual to this RC, and I was reading actually about the instructions right in the manual to see how good the break-in instructions are. And my dog Teddy here, the Nitro guru himself, noticed that the break-in instructions were actually not terrible at all. Now, the break-in I plan on doing is what I've been doing for years. It's Nitro Dog approved. Basically what you do is about like 6 heat cycles, you know, of idling, about 10 minutes each. Of course, if you're a Nova Rossi, you like to full throttle that, you know, at all times. But then again, you also don't produce basic ready to run cheap engines for the mass market, just like TRAXXAS and HSP does. And then you go out of business because you win a lot of races, but then the engines you produce, you know, if you're Nova Rossi, they're way too expensive for the basic buyer to buy. Funny thing, the first quirk and feature, let's get to it. There's a little notice here on the handle of the pulse start. I'm going to read it to you guys. First, let me take it off, and the Nitro Dog here and I will read it. Pull start instructions. Kindly be noted, the usage for the pull starter's line is around 40 centimeters. And please, pull the starter gradually without bearish strength. So guys, first quirk and feature of this thing, it says pull the pull starter kindly without bearish strength. You hear that, Teddy? Don't use your bearish strength on this pull starter. Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. You're gonna break the pull starter. That's actually very good information, because oftentimes I see people pull the pull start like they're a freaking bear, like they're a black bear or a brown bear, you know? You really should be pulling it like you're a polar bear. Those are like the ones without the crazy bearish strength, because they're about to be extinct. Their food stores out in Antarctica is almost gone. Therefore, the bearish strength of the polar bear has been highly diminished, guys. We are about to do the first start on this. I just want to show you what I will be using in this video. We are going to use Bones Brew 30%. Ideally, you should not break in an engine with 30% nitro fuel. That is a lot. Normally, I would want to run something like a 20% blend made for normal, ready to run, but I don't have any other fuel right now, so that's what we're going to use. I have some after-run oil. I usually like to start my motors by putting in a little bit right into the carb venturi. I just want it to be a little bit smoother than normal. You know, a couple drops. We're not trying to saturate the motor here with extra oil. Mostly the cooling is going to happen from obviously the oil content in your fuel blend. I have Dynamite lithium polymer glow driver, one of the best ones I think ever. We have a temp gun. I like to keep these things handy, you know, check myself whether I have coronavirus or not. Although I failed that last test that I did have it. And I also have a really easy to use simple Turnigy flathead screwdriver. I just got these tools from Hobby King. Honestly, the first time I ever bought tools from there, and they're pretty good. Okay, let's put fuel in this, start her up. I'm gonna fill the tank. I'm gonna put about halfway. You never know how this goes. There's no point in wasting nitro, guys. Gotta save that fuel, you know what I'm saying? Now we're just gonna prime the motor. This is a pull start motor, so it's very easy to do. Observe the fuel lines here. They're clear, which I really like. You're not gonna have a hard time seeing whether fuel makes its way into the carb. That is the best thing to do. I'm gonna hold the car down right here while also plugging the exhaust. Here we go. Okay, I see it moving a little. Okay, here it is. You guys see there's a little bubble. Let me do a little more. Right here, the fuel is coming in. That's right, we got ourselves a good vacuum. The first start is always a little bit tough. I think that should be okay. I'm not gonna over prime it. I don't wanna flood it on my first go. Okay, here it goes. Let's do it. Oh, wow, first pull, wow, incredible. Started right up. Wow, guys, I am really surprised. This thing started up so easy. I was not expecting that. Man, these SH21 engines, they run cool. Look at that. I could easily touch it after using 30% nitro fuel. It wasn't even over 200 degrees at any point in the break-in. Now, I've broken in TRAXXAS motors before, and guys, those, like, you gotta fight to keep them under the 250 degree mark. Wow, I just want to say wow again. This thing started faster than I think any brand new nitro motor I've ever had in my life. Right now I'm just waiting a couple minutes for a cool down cycle. I did about, I would say, 10 minutes. The whole goal of breaking in a nitro engine is to seat the piston and sleeve. These things have so much compression. They're not at all like gas RCs. The break-in method is very, very important. Now, I did apply throttle a little bit here and there, but that was just a small amount, just to clear a lot of that exhaust out of the system. You don't want this thing to start like bogging down and shutting off on you. I know they say to run it at idle, but I mean, listen, there's like levels of idle, then there's like, you know, pegging it full throttle at 100%. Giving it tiny little throttle blips up to, I would say, about 25% is adequate, even on a break-in. I'm gonna wait till this cools down to the regular ambient temperature outside here. I'm gonna start it again. I'm not gonna do this whole break-in on video. The whole goal here was just to start it, see how it is, whether everything is functional, you know, kind of like a process for beginners or people with 20 to 40 RC cars like me. I'm not actually ever gonna tell you how many I have, because that would require me opening a whole bunch of boxes, which I do not have time for. Why? Because I'm breaking in nitros, guys. This is not like running an electric. Stick the LiPo in there, charge it up, you go. No, this is a whole process. The break-in is very important. Now, how well you break it in and also how well you maintain it, that is gonna really, really influence the life of your motor. I've gotten close to 10 to 12 gallons out of some nitro motors. Why? Because I break them in properly, I do the heat cycles correctly, I maintain the air filter, I use after run oil, and I don't over rev or overheat the motor. So take my advice, do what I'm telling you to do for the most part, and you won't have no problems. Let's start it up again. It's already almost cool to the touch. I have so much faith in this thing that I'm not even gonna put it on the floor. I'm gonna start it on this damn table. Let's do this. Low starter in, let's fire it up. Low idle. You guys see that smoke? Running rip. I like it. Another successful break-in right here. 2 cycles completed. I'm gonna do the rest off camera. There's really not much to see. It's a whole bunch of noise. I'm smelling a lot of these nitro exhaust fumes, so I'm a little bit lightheaded right now. Stay tuned for more, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Get this thing. I highly, highly recommend it. You're not gonna get a better price for a really nice SH engine. $239. Available in the USA with fast delivery, ready to run, 8 scale, Nitro Short Course. What else is there to say other than Nitrogang, and I'm out later.